Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Let's Play Pioneers. Last time we played on Ubuntu land and it was an awesome video. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already. It was the largest Settlers of Catan game I've ever played in. It had a victory point target of 40 and we were 6 players on that same map. It was insanely large. But it was also very fun, and out of all the 6 players, I was the one to win, so I really enjoyed it. Now I kinda want to go back to a traditional game. Or maybe let's go with a square. We haven't been playing on a square for a long time, and a square is ideal because it's now a smaller game, so we diversify a bit. There's only 2 players. The recommended number of players is 2. We can obviously change this to whatever we want, but yeah, I think 2 is sufficient for our purposes, and the victory point target is by default is 8. So let's go with this. I think this is a small enough map that we can make it work. So let's have some fun. We'll be playing against Attila the Hun. We will be going second. So that means that we will be able to decide on both settlement where to place both of our settlements right next to each other. So on the square map, everything is apparently stratified. All the resources are stratified from west to east. So we get ores on the leftmost side, then we get lumber, then wool, then bricks, and finally we get grains on the easternmost side of the island. So what do we value the most? Honestly, I don't know, but for all that it's worth, I will try to place my first settlement over here so that we can start expanding eastward, and then our next settlement will be placed I guess over here so that we can expand northward from there. So this is an acceptable start. Remember that the victory point target is 8. Right now we each have only 2 settlements, so both me and Attila have only 2 victory points for the moment. Let's roll the dice. So we rolled a 5, no, we rolled a 4, so this gave us both lumber and grains. Now let's see what we want to do. We already have 1 lumber, 1 brick, and 3 grains. Let's start let's start expanding over here in this direction, and with this expansion I will want to build a settlement right on this corner between these 10, 10 and 9 tiles. So let's see if we can make this work. So Attila is desperately trying to grab the exact same spot as me, and that's annoying, so I want to compromise him. Now I rolled a 7, so that means I get to move the robber. Let's place the robber right next to Attila to steal a resource from him, which is quite fine for me. Let's roll a die. We rolled a 7 again, so again we can compromise Attila. Let's move the robber over here this time around, and we got another grain. I'm really worried that he will build a settlement over here before me and steal my spot, but let's not worry too much about that. God damn it, I rolled a 7 again. Why? I need resources. Let's move it over here to compromise him once again. Let's finish our turn. Like, I've only been getting grains from him while rolling the 7. Okay, this time we rolled a 12, which didn't really help us at all. Let's finish our turn. Roll again. We didn't get anything. Come on, all I want is a single fucking... Like, okay, we need to build a settlement over here, so we need one grain, 1 wool, 1 brick, and 1 lumber. But we do not have any of those at the moment, except for grains, when we have a lot of grains. But grains don't really help us. Just give me something. We finally grabbed a lumber, and that's all that we have. So let's trade in. I want a brick in exchange for okay, so we cannot trade with with Attila, because this is a 2-player map only, so trades are disabled. So we can only trade with the bank, and by trading with the bank, that means I can only grab 4, like I can only exchange 4 of my resources of the same type for any resource of my choice. So let's grab a brick in exchange for 4 grains, and all we need now is just 1 wool and we're set. Roll. We still don't have a wool, and we cannot trade with the fucker, so we are at a loss. I really don't like this, man. All I want is to build 1 settlement. God damn it, he got to it first. Well, this sucks, so this was very unlucky for me. This was very fucking unlucky for me. Yeah, now the wool fucking comes when I don't need it anymore. Fuck off. This isn't helping me at all. Like, I really would have needed the wool to have come way earlier, but you know, that's the luck of the dice in the end. You cannot control it. I rolled a 7, so I get to place the robber. Let's fuck with Attila now as much as we can, because yeah, he is leading the game now with 4 victory points, because he has 4 settlements and we only have 2, so he has double the amount of resources that we have. We have to discard 4 resources because we have 9 resources in total right now, and I rolled a 7. So yeah, whenever a player rolls a 7, any player whatsoever, all the players in the game that have more than 7 resources have to discard half of them. So we have to discard 4 right now. Let's discard 2 grains, 1 brick and 1 wool. Let's place the robber and we'll place him right over here. Finish up. Yeah, this is a terrible game. We're not doing well at all. We get to place the robber once again. Let's place it right over here. All I need is a fucking lumber. Are you kidding me? And now we have to discard our resources once again. God damn it. Yeah, this is without a doubt a very terrible game for us. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, we are not doing well at all. Let's place the robber right over here, and now let's start expanding. Like, we really need to expand as much as possible to compromise Attila as much as we can, because he stole our spot from us, and I don't really appreciate that in the least. Like, we cannot build over his settlement, so all we can do now is just find a different spot to build our settlements in. And remember, we only have 2 settlements right now, so our resource acquisition rate is half of his. We get to place the robber once again. Let's place it right over here. I want to build another settlement right over here at this point, but in the meantime, let's see if we can... Actually, no, let's wait to build a settlement. I want to use my resources for that purpose specifically. So he built his 5th settlement, whereas I'm still stuck on my 3rd one. This is embarrassing. Like, this is a terrible game for me. Give me a fucking wool. Why has wool been such a huge problem for me recently? God damn it, give me 1 wool. All I want is 1 settlement, that's all. Roll. Finish up. Roll once again. Let's start heading northward. And even more northward. This is fine. Roll once again. And finish up. He bought a development card, which could be a victory point or it could be something else. We don't know just yet. The fact that he isn't using it immediately makes me think that it's a victory point and he's hiding it from us. But I could be wrong. Okay, we have too many wools. Let's buy from the bank a lumber in exchange for 4 wools. And wait, why did that not work? There we go. And now let's build another settlement right over here. So now we're up to 4 settlements, so 4 victory points in total. But that's not good enough because he has 5 victory points. So he's already leading the game with resource acquisition. And I don't like that. We need to start to expedite our growth immediately. We get to place the robber once again. So let's place it right over here. Let's see. Roll again. Finish up. Roll again, finish up. He's trying to target us, but he's not having much of it. Let's start heading westward so that we can acquire the resources from the mountains as well, so that we can grab wars. We need the wars so that we can start upgrading our settlements into actual cities, as well as for buying development cards. All of these are important. So now I need now I definitely we need more bricks, which we lack a lot of. Come on, give me a brick, will you? What do I need for a brick? All I need is to roll either a 10 or an 11 or a 12. Why is that so difficult? Now I have to discard 4 of my resources. Of course I do. Let's discard 3 grains and 1 wool. I'm running out of resources due to this fucker's robber. Are you kidding me? Just give me the resources that I need. I just need 1 brick, for crying out loud. Like, this is not that difficult. Finally, fucking Jesus Christ. Why was that so fucking hard? Finish. Roll. Okay, exchange for 1 brick in exchange for 4 grains. There we go, another settlement. So now we're out of settlement tokens, so that means we cannot build another settlement anymore until we recycle settlement tokens by upgrading existing settlements into cities. So basically, whenever you we have 4 city tokens but 0 settlement tokens. That means we can upgrade, we can start upgrading one of our existing settlements into cities, and that settlement which will get upgraded into a city will have its token replaced, which will have its settlement token replaced by a city token, and the settlement token that gets replaced will be recycled so that we can start placing it in a different spot in the future. So that's the only way we can make new settlements, by first upgrading. That's the way that this game works. So we cannot place any more settlements. Let's start upgrading our existing settlements into cities. For that, for each upgrade, we need to pay 3 wars and 2 grains. Right now we have no wars and just only 1 grain, so that's not good enough for now. But we are at least at equality in terms of score with Attila. All I need now is wars. And Attila just won. How the hell? He was at 5 victory points. How did he... So he bought 3 development cards, and it just so happened that all of the development cards that he bought were victory points. One was from a building called the Pioneer University, which is worth 1 victory point. The other was from a different building called the Governor's House, which is worth another victory point. And finally, the last one was also a library, which is worth 1 victory point. So just from these 3 buildings, he got 3 victory points. And from his already existing 5 settlements, which is 1 victory point each, he pretty much got to the 8 victory point target before us. So he won fair and square. I am a bit sad that this is the way that it happened. I still think that had we been the ones to build a settlement right on this spot, before him, we would have had we would have had the starting sprint necessary to overtake him in terms of score, and we would have won this game. But the fact that we lost this spot was the beginning of the fall for us. And I'm really not happy about this, but it just so happened that this is the way it ended. So I'm not glad, but this was a fun game nonetheless. The tension was high, and I really enjoyed myself. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to get in touch with me, I have a Mastodon account as well as a Matrix room that you can join, details of which you can find in the description of this video. And in the meantime, see you next time.